Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to a very shiny edition of Tea and Games. The tea today is Yi Mei Ren Black from Tea Runners. And there is actually, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but there is actually a Firefly connection because we're going to be talking about 3 Firefly games today. There is actually a Firefly connection to Tea Runners because Jewel State, who played Kaylee on Firefly, is one of the owners of Tea Runners. Her and her husband Charlie have Tea Runners, which is where a fair amount of my tea comes from. As some of you saw in the short that I posted last week, this arrived on the doorstep. Yeah, I've just got the lid here because the whole thing is huge. Look, inside of the lid, it looks really great too, doesn't it? This is the 10th anniversary edition. Well, I started to say big box, but it's what I got was the Veteran Pilots Upgrade Kit because I already had pretty much all the Firefly stuff except for the new stuff. And I will show you what is in the actual box a little bit later. But when this hit the doorstep, I was in the middle of laying out and punching and learning how to play Firefly Adventures, Brigands, and Browncoats, which is a game that's been on our Unplayed Games shelf for a couple of years now. And it was an impulse purchase at our local game store. I did not research it ahead of time. All I knew about it when I bought it was Firefly, co-op. We do love us some co-op. And you're playing as the characters in Firefly. And so I thought, oh, that sounds cool. We love co-op games. And the only thing that could potentially make Firefly the game any better would be for it to be a co-op game. Potentially any better, I should say, because some of our co-ops do not go well. So as usual with most of my impulse purchases, this one was a complete dud. For us, I should say. I do not think that it is a bad game. And by the way, you may notice it is not on the table in front of me here because it's already out of the house after one playthrough. It's just not our type of game. But I do think that some of you would probably like it. If you like games that have maps and terrains and minis and buildings and are combat oriented, and you like Firefly, then Firefly Adventures, Brigands, and Browncoats, which comes with a base crew of 5, might be a good choice for you. But we didn't like it because we don't like that kind of game. Also, if you like RPGs, you might want to take a look at it because it seemed, I don't know, it felt very RPG-ish to me, even though there's no dice rolling. But we played through it and just found it just grindingly tedious because we don't like that type of game. And it was, I think, fundamentally a good game, but just the way it was designed was not something we were ever going to like. But it's got a lot of shiny stuff in it, the organization as well. The gameplay seems reasonable for an RPG, like a GM-less RPG. One thing that I really didn't like about it, one thing that I can say solidly that I didn't like and that I personally consider a design flaw, though I know a bunch of you would not have any problem with that at all, is that this game is a 5-player game. Firefly Brigands and Browncoats, Firefly Adventures, Brigands and Browncoats is just solidly a 5-player game, and you can play it at 4 in a pinch. Which, considering that our primary player count is 2, But you see, what they say do is then you play 2 players each and you add an extra timeline segment to compensate for the fact that you're not actually playing at the player count the game was designed for. And see, that's what kind of bugs me, is that whole thing about it's like the game is designed for a set number of players, and then you have to double up players or add automata or timeline segments and do stuff to make it work and be actually conceivably winnable. And by the way, we did win. We actually did win the game. We just did not enjoy it at all. Also, maybe this is just us, but even though we had little minis and we're playing as the characters and all, it just didn't have that Firefly feel that I was looking for. Unlike Firefly the game, which to me really does have a good Firefly feel to it. It feels very true to the game. And so Brigands and Browncoats was not a hit. It's gone. But it was not the only Firefly game on our Unplayed Game shelf, if you can believe that. Because you see, when we want to play a Firefly game, we play Firefly the game. But there was one other Firefly game on our Unplayed Game shelf, and that is Tall Card. This is a designer's conception of what the Tall Card game that they play in the TV show, what it might be like, because we only get a glimpse of the card play there and the cards. This game is out of print, I might add. If you see this like at a garage sale or resale shop or something like that, and you like Firefly, you should probably snatch that sucker up. It comes with, and this is what I found initially confusing. It's like I opened it up and I looked at all that and I went, and put it all back on the shelf. It comes with 2 decks of cards. Which is more than what you need. This is the standard deck here. And the rules are very much like poker. Oh, wait, this is the player guide. The rules are very much like poker. If you know how to play poker, which I kind of know how to play poker a little bit, but I'm not very good at it. It's like, neither Robert nor I are really poker players. But we played a few hands of this and enjoyed the heck out of it. You have suits like diamonds and bamboo and plums. You saw the plum tall card in the TV show, and there are dragons, green, red, and white. And that's pretty much, and the decks and the cards are numbered 1 to 9. So that's pretty much like you've got the suits and colors and numbers. And the combinations that you make in order to do stuff for these is different from poker. Robert and I were talking about this, and we think it's actually maybe harder to make a good hand playing tall card than poker, that it may be a little bit more challenging than poker. It also comes with an alternate deck. See, it has the same back, so it's like when I first got it, I'm going like, what are all of these things? Because it just had so many. The alternate deck has unicorns and spades and swords and plums also. It also has phoenixes, dragons, tortoises, and a symbol, I don't know what it means, and hearts with swords through them, and spade things, and yeah, it's an alternate deck, a completely alternate deck. And the idea behind this is that, I mean, you can play according to their rules, which explain stuff, and their little handy-dandy player aid thing. And you can play according to that, or you have enough material here that you can essentially make up your own tall card game. And I didn't even mention the actual tall cards. The tall in the, let me get the bag open. The tall in the game was these cards, these round cards. I believe the plum was tall in the game. But there are other ones. There are a couple of them. Let me see. No. And then for the alternate deck, there are 3 alternate talls. So you can make up your own game or play the game as it is in here. We just found it very, very hard to come up with really good hands. We both played badly, but we're not poker players. So, I mean, I don't know what I did. Oh, yeah, here. But the names of the things are just, they're just a hoot. Or perhaps I should say a hootenanny, because there is a hand that you can make called a three-dragon hootenanny. I was going for a three-dragon hootenanny, and I did not make it. The best I got was two shiny dancing couples. Two dancing couples, which is higher than two shiny dancing couples. But there's also a crate maker countdown and heavy boat full of dragons and 5 pretty sisters and 2 shiny dancing couples and a heavy boat and dancing couples, dragons, and they have very colorful things. The whole edition of Hootenanny in there, yes, that really is a hoot. But I mean, it kind of captures that whole Western Asian mix thing that's going on in Firefly. But we had a lot of fun playing this. And I would say that if you can snag a copy, because it is deeply out of print at this point in time, and you're a Firefly fan, or you just like poker-esque games, then yeah, if you can find a copy of this resale, garage sale, estate sale, anything like that, then it would be worth getting. If you cosplay Firefly, yeah, you should probably have a deck on hand to play with your friends. We had a lot of fun with it. If you like poker, you would like this. So we actually played 2 Firefly games over the weekend, but I'm going to talk about 3 because I had already planned on learning and playing Tall Card and Firefly Adventures Brigands and Browncoats. So all I did with Firefly the game this weekend was sleeve the new cards. And even before that, I had started loading all my stuff in and arranging it and all. And now I will show you what everything looks like. Oh, wait, I wanted to mention for Firefly Brigands and Browncoats, I mentioned that the Firefly Adventures, it comes with a base crew of 5. There are expansions you can get which add in, like, I think, Anara, Dock, Book, River, those. There's 2 different expansions, I think, that add 2 crew each, something like that. So that would give you more options for play, which I thought was nice. But it's really not for us. We're going to stick with Firefly the game. And now, here's Firefly the game. I'm going to rustle up Robert to help me with the camera. Okay, we're back. This is the big box, and as you can see by the lid I had in this, it's pretty darn big. Rule book is nice, fat, perfect bound. I have not even dug into the rule book to see if they made any changes. This is the top layer, which if you saw the video short I had before, when I got it, it was totally empty because I just got the upgrade pack, and now I've loaded all my stuff in. They have nice trays. Compartments. The compartments, as you can see, in the ones that's almost not filled, have symbols in them that show what the various things are that you put in there. Though really, you could distribute your stuff any way you want to. You may see some black things here. This is because prior to this, I'd gotten some kind of extra cargo, passenger, fuel, and gear token thingies, and some of those have felt backs. But it's got pieces for all of your stuff. And I actually even put in the first player Dino and dice from the original game in here. But you can see there's room actually to put more things. And these here are the bases for the ships. We've got all new hand-painted minis. And now I'll start stripping off this first layer here. Let's see if I can just get a look at all of these things as I take the things out. And once again, thank you to Robert for holding the camera for me while I do all of this. This is the second layer. It does not have this is, I think, the designated money slot, because the full big box came with the big money, which I didn't really want or like, so I just have the regular money. I've got the ones in here. It comes with a dice bag. This tray separates out here. It comes with a dice bag here. This is where you keep your ship boards, personnel boards. It has a new first player marker and dice. Let me pop the top off here, and I'll show you what's inside. Okay, these are just the hundreds. I've got the others on another layer. In here, it has room for all the story cards. It has cards for setup cards and story cards. These envelopes don't look like they'll hold that much. I've got setup and story for the new expansions in here, and the rest I just left as is in their plastic that they came in. The upgrade in the new box also has solo play cards. I believe it has 8 story cards and a setup card. And so that goes down in here. We have new dice. Lots and lots of new dice. And one thing I'm not sure I really like is that I like that the ship is 6. That's the way it's always been with the dice. But what I don't like is that the one has the little disgruntled crew face on it, which is not what rolling a 1 means in the context of the game. That's a completely separate mechanic. So that bugs me a little bit. Guess it's a good thing I put my regular dice in. Oh, I was showing you crew. You do get some new crew. You get some new leader cards in the new thing, but I've got a bunch of my crew, but also holographic leader cards. I don't know if you can see the shine there, but yeah, there are some holographic leader cards there. So that's literally shiny. And the ship deck, you get a new ship with this, the Restless Soul. And this is what its board looks like, and then I've got all my other ship boards in here, and I will show you the new hand-painted ships, but that is last because they are on the bottom. It comes with a stitched edge neoprene mat. You just moved this layer out of here. Okay, we're on to the next level. You could see the stitched edge neoprene mat from that level, but you can only access it from the 3rd level. And I'm not going to take it out because I don't want to roll it back up again. It comes wrapped in plastic, and I have taken it out of the plastic. And I have loaded in all of my cards. We've got alerts here, alliance alerts here. There is a new expansion called Capers, new jobs called Capers. This is Pirates and Bounty Hunters, which these cards, we have not played with Pirates and Bounty Hunters yet. It's one of 2 expansions that we've not played with yet. So I'm keeping them separate for now. All the other Pirates and Bounty Hunters, and also here, this is the Misbehave deck for Crime and Punishment, and those are the 2 expansions we haven't played with yet, so I'm keeping them separate for now. You may notice some bagged rim border space cards here. When you roll in some of the expansions, it told you to pull some border space cards and use those instead, and I did that like so many years ago, I don't even remember. Rim space, border space, alliance space. Here is my regular Misbehave deck, which has all of the other expansions rolled into it. And here is the Reaver Contact, Corvette Contact, Alliance Contact, and ship upgrades. It comes with some new ship upgrades, see? For the Walden, Interceptor, Yunki, Bonanza, Serenity, and Bonnie May. And a couple of those are double-sided, the one for the Interceptor and the Walden, which I thought was kind of neat. And you've got the drive core for the various ships and upgrades for the ships. Whoa, that's all kind of turned upside down there. And like I said, most of this I already have. I have slotted in the rest of the money here. I'm not sure what was supposed to go there. It was just a tiny little shallow spot, but side to side, these fit fairly snugly, so I think there won't be a huge amount of like shifting Although some of these are already now stacked all the way up to the top, particularly these Rim Space and Alliance Space decks. So there may be a little bit of shifting there. Also the alerts. Maybe a little bit of shifting there. And there go the Porter Space decks and other stuff. I can put it all back off camera. The bottom row. Here you have your jobs. Except for the capers, which is on the upper, the deck above, and you have your supply decks here, and this also has like plastic over it to keep things from going everywhere. And inside this nifty little box here is the new ships, 3 layers of ships. Here we go. Top layer, yeah. Here we have the Interceptor. We have 5 smaller Firefly tokens. They go in the little stands you saw that I had on the top. These are for the 4 base game ships. The Serenity, which is brown board, actually is the red ship. I think this is Bonnie May, Serenity, Yunki, and Bonanza, I think. And then this one, I believe, is meant to be the Artful Dodger, because that's what the color matches. This larger Firefly here, I believe, is for the Jet Wash expansion based upon the color. We have, oh, I've forgotten what that ship is called. Oh, just shoot me now, all you Firefly fans. I am just going blank. Okay, here is the Alliance Cruiser, just from the base game. There's the Interceptor. Oh, yeah. And then there's the white one was the Interceptor. This is the Walden. Then Esmeralda. These are your 3 Reaver ships. They actually don't look as scary as the Reaver ships in the original game. And this is the new ship, the Restless Soul. And Soul is spelled S-O-L-E. And that is all of the stuff. If you got the full big box, you would have gotten the big money and maybe something else. I'm not, well, absolutely sure. But did I put this on the right way? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Yeah. And there the ships went everywhere, and people all over the internet began to scream. I love it. There's nothing like live filming, is there? Okie dokie. And they all fit snugly in there like this and back into their nifty little box. But you would get like all of this stuff if you got like the huge big box, which as I understand it is not coming to retail. But I just got the upgrade and then loaded all my crap in. You notice me pulling this over here because this tray over here goes back onto here. It needs to be able to slide down over the side of that like that. And I think I will just put the rest of it back together off camera. Again, thank you for tuning in and watching, and I'm just talking as I'm putting it all back together, but that's okay. I just love all this stuff, and Firefly the game, I think I'm just going to stick with it and Tall Card as my games. Actually, it goes all back together pretty quickly and easily, particularly after you have wrangled it a few times. But when you're loading everything out, you do need a good bit of table space to put it on because there's just so darn much of it, so many trays. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time around the table. Bye.